And away we go. What's up, friends? Welcome to the Chief Chat. It is Friday, February 19th, 2021. How are you? Welcome. Come on in. It's great to see you. It's great to have you here. Let's get some stuff done today. Yeah, here we go. It is an exciting time. Things are looking up in the world slowly. We're inching our way towards better days, and I commend you all for fighting the good fight and continuing to focus on your business and grow your business and get smarter about your business through all the weirdness that has been this last year. You know, it strikes me. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Steve, Nick, Nathan, Michelle, hi. Bill, good to see you. Hey, Zach Romero in the house. Oh my goodness, I could spend an hour just talking to Zach. I have a lot of questions for Zach Romero. He's doing super cool things at Tier 11. Been bringing on some copywriters. Good to see you, Zach. Let me keep on point here. Donald, good to see you. I just love seeing who's here. Jason, what's up, man? Joanne, how are you? Awesome. Lolita, our fearless community leader, is here with us. Angie Coley in the house. Hey, Angie, good to see you. Who else? Joanne, Jimmy, John, good to see everybody. All right, so check it out. Just thinking a little bit about this particular week. It is, if you guys don't realize, exactly just about 1 year ago that the entire pile of shite hit the giant fan. And at least here in the US, it was actually a week or two after this, because I remember specifically, today's the 19th, last February 22nd was the last time I got together with a lot of friends in a group and danced and hugged and did normal life things, because there was no pandemic like we know it now. There was nobody even thinking about wearing masks, or nobody had gotten sick that we knew. And that was February 22nd. So 1 year ago, and very, very soon after that, I would say first, second week of March is when everything started shutting down. Like sports started canceling their seasons. The NBA playoffs were about to happen and then stopped happening, and it was just like, whoa, this is real. And so it's just interesting to where we are at that 1 year mark from when everything crashed. And it reminds me that, man, we didn't have none of us obviously had ever experienced anything like this, and we just had no idea what was coming. And now, looking back over a year, it strikes me, I think the word is resilience, that we are all capable of a lot more than we realize at any given time. And too often we discover what we're capable of by facing adversity. And that's sort of always going to be the case. And life's going to come at us in all kinds of ways. We can only control our reality and our environment so much. We have to be prepared to deal with unpleasantries that come our way. But never have we experienced a global phenomenon like this, where every single person who started 2020 with a set of plans ended up doing something pretty different to get through the year. Nobody got to do exactly what they thought they was going to do. And so I guess my little takeaway, and I'll end this look back, is remember that things will happen to you and you will respond to them, and probably pretty successfully, either by default or design, or really both. Default is going to be stuff happens and you deal with it, and it may be super unpleasant. It may even be a mountain of a thing to face and overcome, but usually we make it to the other side with help from friends and support and therapies and drugs. Sometimes we actually need prescriptions to get through things. And, but we emerge wiser, stronger, more able to help other people on the other side of that. But we can also challenge ourselves and choose to grow by design. And that's just as important for us to have stuff going that we decide that we want to have in our lives. When we make plans and we have the game plan to meet those goals. And that's what this month has been about in Copy Chief with my man Darren Hanser's in the house. What's up, Darren? Good to see you. With the training that we just did here on Wednesday, I really loved it. We had a blast. If you, I don't know if we replay the comments under the training. I don't think we do that anymore, but if you should have been there live, if you weren't, to see just the comments. It was a really good time. And so let me quickly just, geez, I got so many tabs open here. I want to show you. Let me find it first. Just a super quick. Oh God, I don't even know where it is. All right, I won't search. It's not there. Okay. Anyway, the replay is up, and here's what I do want to show you. Let's log into the form real quick here, and look at the challenge that we've got going, because it's super cool. So by the way, if you need to find anything, you just get to your home screen, and the current stuff that we got going is always right up top here. Lolita's got us all organized, making sure everybody's seeing the right stuff. So now we've got the masterclass, all right, and we've got a challenge going. And so again, the masterclass we just did was about the freelancing profit pie. Yes, let the jokes begin. Innuendos coming at you. The profit pie. You got to mind your pie. How you slicing your pie? Are you guarding your pie? And it's really, really helpful training. We also, I want to show you something cool. I totally geeked out, and I combined the profit pie. Essentially, if you weren't on the training, is a way for you to split up your time. So you know how to divide your time and energy, which is really, besides our wisdom and the magic we bring to the work we do, that's equal playing ground, time and energy. Everybody's got the same amount of it, essentially, within degrees of energy, perhaps, but we've all got the same amount of time. Nobody gets extra time, 24 hours in a day, and that is it. And so what do you do with it? And so I combined the profit pie, which is 50, 25, 25, along with the freelancer's journey, so that you'll know exactly how to divide your pie depending on which phase of the freelancer's journey timeline you're in. So again, if that's like a big concept, you're like, what is this guy talking about? There are 2 essential trainings for you to look at in the dashboard: the freelancer's journey phases and the freelancing profit pie, which is the brand new training. If you watch both of those, you'll 100% understand and be able to use this handy checklist I've made for you, where we tell you exactly how to find which phase you're in. There are 7 phases of a freelancing career, all the way to like building a big old business. And we listed for you exactly what you should be focused on, not worrying about, and the results you should be seeing in each of the phases. Okay. And so when you watch the training and you go, okay, I'm definitely in like phase 3 right now. I'm setting the standard for my business. I want to get steady work. Down here, you see, okay, that means that revenue wise, 50% of my time and effort should be producing 100% of my needed revenue. I should be spending 25% in developing new skills, strengthening my network, developing new relationships, partnerships potentially, And then 25% motive. That means the other stuff that it may be business related. Maybe you want to try out a new offer. Maybe you want to, take a new training or learn a new skill. But mostly the motive is about what's the stuff beyond the business stuff that keeps you excited. Are you taking are you into salsa dancing? Are you learning guitar? Are you, and what do you learn? Taking time to say, what am I learning through this process of doing something I'm passionate about, right? And how does that help me as a marketer, as a copywriter? Because every single bit of it does help you in very strategic and relevant ways. All right. And so the 25%, let's just call it your screw off time, but it helps you realize that, oh, even when I'm doing something that doesn't feel like hard work, it's making me better as a copywriter, as a marketer. It's completing the pie. All right. And so then you can go down and just see in this checklist, all right, here's what I need to be doing in the rev and dev essentially. And let me add in my 25% motive. Okay. So super cool. And now let me show you. This is the replay. We put it for you for your convenience right here in the forum. Like I said, you'll see right at the top how to click on it. You can watch it in the dashboard if you want. You can watch it right here for a limited time. And then we have a challenge where what I want you to do after you watch this training is go here to the challenge. Right here at the top, this is where we keep all our challenges. And by the way, this is super valuable for you because it puts action to the trainings. And so when you go watch a training, you can click over if you're a member of Copy Chief and see how other people use the training. So you're getting a real time example of what your peers, how they're doing the same work that you're now wanting to do. So it's not just theory. It's not just more information in your head. We're actually putting it to use, right? Really cool. That's what makes Copy Chief completely different from any other community. We learn together. We're like a copywriting lab where we're breaking down copy. We're helping each other critique things. We're discovering what works best. We're making trainings from what works best. And then we're taking the principles of those trainings and we're using them. We're putting them into action. So now they become a part of us, right? Now they become a part of us. Compare that to the piles of training you have on your hard drive and things you've been through, and you can only remember small bits of them. Maybe they're useful, maybe they're not. By just having fun with us and doing a bit of a challenge, you now have it, you own it. It's a part of you forever. Really cool. So do the challenge, come here, you go to the instructions first, and simple. All we want you to do is basically take inventory, right? What's your 50%? How are you using that to earn revenue? Is it 50% right now? I show in the training that sometimes it goes up to 80, and how that affects the rest of your numbers. But basically, the thing you can avoid is the need for these three categories: rev, dev, and motive. All right. These are things you need to have active to some degree at all times in your business. So here's our man, George, jumped right in. And I'll tell you something. When I see a guy like George, who doesn't waste any time doing the assignment, I go, here's a guy who's going to succeed. We don't know maybe exactly what path, because every path is individual, but this is the character of a successful freelancer, jumping in, doing the work, making it a part of him, making a very determined a list of the things he's doing now, why they're that way, how he'd like to change them, and what actions he'll take to make that so. You do that, you will succeed. There's no way about it. There's no conversation to be had. Yes, things will come at you. Yes, there may be a pandemic. Yes, tragedy may strike in different ways. That's separate from this. That's the default stuff. This is George designing his future. And it makes me proud and excited when I see people take action on the trainings, because that's what they're meant to do. And we see the results when people do that. So great job, George. I made George a video. I talked for 11 minutes. Shocker. Kev could talk for 11 minutes about and got into detail with George and gave him some more tips and suggestions. So you can watch that right there. By the way, this is exciting to me. I'm just going to click on this. You guys know about the Loom. Have you seen this? I don't know if this is because I'm in was chosen for beta, or because I'm in a paying customer or whatever. But this transcript thing is super cool. So they'll transcript the video, a lot like if you use Rev to transcribe stuff. Isn't this a whole nother dimension? And so now you can all kinds of ways this is super useful. Love this new feature from Loom. So really excited about that. Anyway, that's what we're about here in February. And I hope you'll take action on it. We got it. This challenge, by the way, remind me, Lolita, started yesterday, the 18th. And I think we go through Wednesday or Thursday. Thank you, the 25th, which I guess might even be Friday. And then do we even talk about a prize? Here's what I will do. I'm going to right now award George a Copy Chief t-shirt for being the first to jump in and do such a thoughtful job of his personal assessment. And I will be looking at all your entries, personally coaching you this week through these. And so I'm going to jump in and check it every day, and I'll respond as quickly as possible. So take advantage of a bit of free coaching from Kev here. This is something I typically only do with my higher level coaching groups. And I'm happy to do it for all members this week. So let's do that. And I'll choose someone else who I think is deserving and give out another prize. But George, let's get you a little lead. I'll ask you to get with Mary and get George the link for a t-shirt. Thank you, George, man, for doing that. We got new designs, by the way. I don't know if you've seen them in the Shopify store. I don't have a link to that in front of me, but yeah, I want you all in the gear, everybody in the gear. And what I love about the shirts, they're never for sale. You got to kind of earn them. And we've been giving them to full pay annual members as a gift. So we love the t-shirts. They have meaning. If you see somebody in one of our t-shirts, it means that they're engaged and they're committed and they're doing stuff, and it's cool. It's not just hey, please put my logo on your chest. It's like, wear that with pride. You earned it. Awesome. So yeah, fear of burnout. Oh, by the way, Joy, this was cool. Sometimes, kismet happens. Speaking of burnout, I'm going to show you something else real quick too, in a minute. I'm swiping. I'm doing a swipe exercise with Billy Mays. So we're going to look at that in a second. Okay. This was interesting. Let me just pull this up. By the way, isn't it funny? I don't know if you guys have iPhones, and, good for Apple, like wanting to sell their news service, but sometimes they'll put stuff in the news and you click it and you're like, oh, I want to read that. And it comes up and it's like, sorry, sucker. That's part of our paid thing. And no problem with that. What's funny about it is all you got to do to get the article is just Google the publisher and the title, and it comes right up. So sorry, Apple, you're making it a little too easy to work around you on that. So anyway, men's health. We talked very specifically about burnout in the training yesterday, and so that was one of the situation where it's like, I don't want to sign up for Apple necessarily. I just want to read this article. So I just Googled men's health burnout, and oh my God, there it is. So I haven't even read this yet, but I just thought it was so cool that it's funny how that works, right? There's actually a name for this where you think about a thing and you focus on it and it just starts to appear in your life. Part of it is that it was always there and we just became conscious of it, but that's as relevant as magically appearing, or you want to call it law of attraction or whatever. That stuff is real. And that's why getting intentional about your goals and putting action towards meeting them is so damn powerful, because law of attraction is real. And so it was just really interesting that this article came out. It was trending on Apple the next day, the same day as our training. And it's talking about, and I love the title. I think that the original title was "Burnout is No Joke, and here's how to work through it." And that was our point. And what John Carlton said to me that really made me rethink how I think about burnout. There is no promise that you come back from burnout. I think I likened it to the difference between, traveling, and I used to drive every day as a comic. And by the time I get to the weekend gig, I would sleep all day Saturday just to sort of recover. And that's how I thought of burnout with work, with just working too much. And I think, all right, if I burn out, I'll kind of know what happened, and I'll just sleep for a day and I'll be good. Right. But maybe it's more like when you get food poisoning and you can never eat that food again, because whenever you get food poisoning, you know exactly what the hell gave it to you. And you just think of that food and you cringe, or you smell it and you just want to vomit. Like all that horribleness is anchored in that food. And so maybe, imagine if that happened with our work. It's like we worked so hard and burned ourselves out that we literally had a negative visceral response to doing the work or having another client. The thing we thought we wanted more than anything is now the thing that makes us puke. Yeah, that's what burnout is. We don't want that, right? All right. So, cool. So check this out. And this is in a new state. I got to post. I've been wanting to post this in the community, and I'll do this. I came across somebody had posted Billy Mays scripts from his most successful infomercials and commercials. You guys, of course, know who Billy Mays is, right? The guy with the crazy dark beard and dark hair, and he would kind of yell all the time. He was the infomercial king forever. And sometimes but wait, there's more, right? And so it's easy to discount a guy like that and say, oh my God, it becomes a joke, right? It's very much like an SNL skit, very, very much a parody of his own self. But you also have to stop and consider what would make someone like that famous. Same with like a guy like Tony Little. You can do it. It's like there's a reason that joke's funny, but he did something to become so damn successful that he's in our face all that, and everybody knows who that is. And with Billy Mays, man, the guy was a master salesperson and a master at selling in 30 seconds or 2 minutes. This comes from, the lineage of this is like the boardwalk pitchmen back in, the 30s and 40s or whatever, like on the Atlantic City boardwalk and probably Coney Island and other places where these people would set up their product, and they would pitch it, right? And they use demonstration. They'd be showing you the product. They'd be having fun with the crowd, and then they would literally getting people to stop and come over to them, giving a sales pitch, and then selling the crap out of whatever they're offering right in real time, and then turning around and do it again, right? Imagine doing this for 8 hours a day, how damn good you'd get at that pitch. And so there's the fundamentals of how you sell a thing are really steeped into infomercials and that kind of selling. It's not to be eschewed because it's a bit cheesy oftentimes, right? Right. Yeah. Billy Mays was the original ShamWow guy. Exactly. That kind of selling. So I was fascinated to read these scripts and these Billy Mays transcripts. And sorry, let me just find this here. I got too many tabs open. All right, let me just kill this one because that's not relevant. That's not it. Bear with me. I apologize. Here we go. All right, check it out. So here is the Billy Mays script, and let me find. Very sorry for this. Damn it! I got to find my version, and I think I might have just closed it, so that screws this over. Oh, here it is. Okay, no, that's not it. Damn it! This is the worst live TV ever. All right, so I can still make my point without having my swipe of it. All right, here we go. Sorry for this. Go to history and reopen it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Thanks, Michelle. I was like, I can't take more time to do that, but I'm going to. All right, history. This will be worth it, I hope. It's the dashboard only. I got to go to full history and then search. Yo, oh my God. Alex, are you entertaining people in the comments while I do this? Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. It doesn't matter. All right, here we go. Let's look at Billy Mays. And here's what's interesting about it. So I'm going to share this with you guys in the forum. There's your man, Billy Mays. Transcripts for 21 of Billy Mays' most popular infomercials. So they just taken right from the final, broadcast. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, my first idea was, wouldn't it be fun to parody a Billy Mays type commercial for Copy Chief, right? Our newest offer is going to be the dashboard only, the Copy Chief training dashboard. And so it's for people who don't want to be part of the community. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they just want the trainings. They just want the dashboard, right? Which you smart people have access to that, of course, and all this. So we're testing an offer if you just want the trainings. And the sort of hook of it is that we are, like I said earlier, a marketing lab where we have the most vetted trainings of no one comes close to it because they're born of the community. And so that's the magic of it. And but then I went from thinking, well, okay, what if I did a parody to, well, what if I wrote it in the same style, but I'm still trying to look for the other document. I'm sorry, but spoke it as me. In other words, maybe there you can have this perfect hybrid of a proven sort of swipeable format, especially if you're trying to. My biggest problem, as you can imagine, keeping my videos under 2 minutes, which is always my goal for Facebook, right? Because I feel like so much to say and I can edit them down. So what I do is it's a lot of copywriting. Is I'll just have in mind what I want to say. I'll just do a raw version and then I edit the crap out of it. But it's never perfect. And so really apologize. I do want to find what I wrote because I think it's relevant. Brand ambassador, untitled document. Damn it. Dead air, good TV. All right. And so if you just read it as yourself, but follow the same format, how effective would that be? And that is what I'm trying to experiment with. And I can't find the freaking thing. All right. Anyway, I'm going to give up now. So let's just look at a Billy Mays. Let's just try to read this. So Billy Mays would say, in fact, let's just look at how Billy Mays would say it. Video unavailable. Boo. Most of these are here. All right. The grater plater. Let's see if this one's here.
If you combine a cheese grater with a plate, you'd have a plate that grates.
What?
Hi, Billy Mays here for the grater plater. It's no ordinary plate. Watch this. Grate cheese with
Wow, that is pretty cool. Don't you immediately want that?
There's no wrong way to use it. Back and forth side to side, round and round. All the cheese stays in the plate. Pass it around the dinner table and grate as you go. Use it for pasta,
Wow.
pizza, or salad.
I've never seen this.
It's the best. Whether it's a lemon, lime, or orange, you get perfect results each and every time.
Isn't that great? That's the power of demonstration right there, right? I mean, already I want that thing so friggin' bad in the first 10 seconds of him showing it to me. Show me how it works. Make me want to use it. Really exciting. So I wonder if that would be effective. Say like you guys know who Dean Jackson is? Dean Jackson, the great Dean Jackson, like super mellow guy, talks like, and so that's just the thing. That's kind of Dean's tone. What if you, read like Billy Mize did it, but if you didn't stop being Dean, you don't want Dean Jackson to try to yell at you. It grates. It's perfect for any dinner. It would just feel like, is Dean having what's going on? And so, oh, good. I think that would be a good experiment. And so I swiped, as I've mentioned, and I freaking can't find it. A Billy Mays script as closely as possible. And what I'll do is I'll make a video of me reading it as me, but in that form. And then if it goes pretty well, I'm going to test it and see, like, can we honor what Billy created without having to shout and kind of be, would people even recognize that it's the same formula if you were just reading it more casually as yourself? So that's the experiment. And I apologize that I didn't have anything organized to make it. I think marketers would. I think you're exactly right, Michelle. I think like marketers would recognize it is, but I think other people might not. And anyway, all right. So by the way, something we haven't done in a while that I want to do is a best thing, something we used to do all the time on the Chief Chats. And here's what it is, simply. And we have a lot of new blood in here. And I'd love for somebody I haven't met or who might be here for the first time or has been hanging out with us and has never done one of these to do a best thing. Here's how it goes. You just come on camera with me. So be prepared with some decent lighting. Maybe you make the bed if you have to and have a decent sound. I'm sure you're fine. And you come on and you share the best thing you learned this week. Again, take an assessment. We're always learning something. We often forget the things we learned. And this is a way to encapsulate and not only own it and make it a part of you, but share it with others. Super cool. These are really fun. So the best thing goes like this. There's a little formula to it. And by the way, this is a great formula for you to use for any video you want to make. If you want to make like a 60-second video and share something cool, people will love you for that. It's a way to get out on social media more. It goes like this. Hey, I'm Name. And the best thing I learned this week was state the thing you learned. Name where it came from. Perhaps you read it in a book or you saw a YouTube video or whatever it was. Then you say, part 3, here's why it was super relevant to me right now. And then you tell a little bit of a personal story about something you're dealing with, struggling with, overcome, whatever it is. And then you end with an if-then statement. I'm sorry, the fourth part is you talk about sort of the result of putting this into action and how it solved the problem. We don't want to just state a problem. We want to solve a problem. And then part 5 is then you end with an if-then statement. And you just simply say, so if you're dealing with thing I was dealing with, I suggest, and then you encapsulate the lesson. And then that's it. All right. Is that clear? Okay. So maybe I'll have a veteran come on and do one. If someone's willing. Alix, Angie, Rachel Kraft have all done many of these with us, and they're always fantastic. So if any of you would like to come on and share a best thing, I'll give you an example. A perfect one for me right now would have been that Men's Health article about burnout, right? And so I could have just said, hey, I'm Kevin Rogers, and I've been what's the first thing? Hey, I'm Kevin Rogers, and I want to share a quick tip about how to avoid burnout. If you don't know, burnout is a very serious problem that all freelancers and entrepreneurs take, because we could work all day and never feel done. And so how do you know when you're actually at risk of damaging yourself and completely burning out on the work you're doing? And I read an interesting article in Men's Health about burnout, and they gave some tips about how to overcome it or avoid it. And one that really stood out to me was to take a 30-minute walk every day. And that may seem too simple and easy, but there was some science behind it. A brisk walk once a day activates what's called your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body, and it's where information gets channeled from your brain throughout the rest of your body. And when we sit or we get overwhelmed with stress, our vagus nerve sort of sits idle and it gets cramped up and locked. Think of it like a highway, and there's a block, an accident or something, and no traffic's moving. So when you take a brisk walk, the reason you feel better is not only that you're getting fresh air, you're activating your vagus nerve, and suddenly your synapses are firing in ways that they weren't a minute ago, and you just feel more relaxed and more capable of handling everything you've got on your plate. So if you're facing burnout, feeling burned out and tired and frustrated, try taking a 30-minute walk, activate your vagus nerve, and let me know how it works for you. All right. So that's what I just completely made up. I don't think the vagus nerve thing is in that article. I literally pulled that out of my brain from something Melanie Warren taught me and just combined it. You see that? I did that in real time, and that, boom, that could have been the whole video. And I put it out and people go, oh, that's cool. And then it's, I should do more of that. All right. So everybody's talking about walking. Yeah. See how that works? Isn't that great? So already instantly you're like, oh, I relate to that. Yeah. Do I do that? Yes, I do. How much engagement that is when you're actually teaching something useful. And like, this is the engagement, the dialogue we talk about, and it's happening in real time right here in the comments. Okay. Thank you, Lolita. So helpful. Alix and Dave. Oh, Dave Kirshbaum, my man. All right. Let's get Alix first. She is fantastic at these. Even knew to raise her hand, but then lowered it. So now I can't find her. Where'd you go, Alix? Okay, don't move. Don't move. Okay, thank you. Best things. I'm so excited. It's been too long since we've done these.
Hey.
Hi, Alix.
Hello. Really quickly, I'm going to shame you publicly because my pronouns are they, them.
Yeah, I just thought of that the minute you popped on camera. And this is, thank you for reminding me, and it'll be a work in progress. And I promise to do my best, and I will get it.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I ask. Just trying. It's hard to do that shit.
Yep.
So, okay. The best thing that I relearned this week is that there's a whole lot of decision making that you just obsess about too much. And the easiest way to get around that is to ask someone else what they would do. And I'm going to take a moment here because you're not going to take their advice on what they're going to do, right? You're going to have that moment right before they answer where all of a sudden you know what you want to do. And my favorite way of doing this is tarot readings, because it's very easy to get an interpretation of your own off of the things that they are saying. So if you are, as I was, wondering what the next big step in your life is, if you should be writing a book or creating a course or making a new offer, ask someone who has no actual bearing on what you're going to do. Because in the moments before they tell you which one you're supposed to do, you're gonna, oh yeah, Sacred Path cards, Michelle. I don't know anybody else who knows about Sacred Path cards. Those things are amazing. Those are like ruled my mom's life. My mom's an old hippie, but the point is, not like you could tell that I was probably the child of a hippie. Kevin, stop having an apoplectic fit. So
Kill me.
But yeah, so if you have a decision that you have to make, and you're really not sure what you want, asking someone else will tell you what you want. The easiest way to do this that you might do the next time you are in this situation is actually just flipping a coin. And usually when the coin is in the air, you realize that there's a specific side you want it to land on. So if you have a big decision or a small decision and you just can't do it on your own, ask someone else. And when they offer help, tell them to go screw themselves.
Thank you. That's fantastic, Alix. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. And a great share. And I think the takeaway, the thing that really stood out to me that you said was someone who has no bearing on your outcome. It's not a coach. This is not someone you look up to. It didn't even matter if they have ever been through it. Might be better if they haven't. It's like unbiased. Hey, what would you do? And like you said, something they'll say, one of the options, you'd be like, you'll know instinctively what you would do.
Or what usually happens with me is they say something like, oh, I would do this. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. Oh, hey, I don't want to do that. Cool.
Yeah.
Next thing.
Taking things off the list.
It's the other option. Great.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alix.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kevin.
Appreciate you. They killed it, as always. And thank you, Alix. And by the way, the pronoun thing, we have fun with everything, and Alix and I never get very serious. But this is I appreciate that she is helping people learn her new pronouns, because it's something we all need practice doing, right? So there was an interesting thing yesterday. Somebody, another mom, texted my wife to say that she was at the drive-thru of a restaurant, and before she made her order, they asked this woman her pronoun. And if you knew this woman, you'd know how sort of comical this is, because she just didn't even know what they were talking about. She's like, well, I don't understand. What do you mean? Like, I just want chicken fingers. And so it was interesting. Like, I didn't know if that's a policy of the restaurant, or if, then I thought, well, what's good about this is because we all have to, this is a new thing for most people, and we're going to have to get better at it. So, and I think Alix would be the first to tell you, thank you for just trying, and you will get better at it as with intention and some practice, and then it'll become something we can all do fluidly and not get all weird and awkward when someone has a pronoun we're not familiar with, right? I hope that is all accurate, Alix. And so I love how Alix talks about this and explains it, and she's helped me a lot. Well, clearly I'm not there yet, but it was close. They've helped. Damn it. See, it's very hard to you have to rethink. Yeah, that's good. Good practice. Thank you, Alix. They are awesome. Always have been. And only get more awesome. Okay. David, come on, brother. Good to see Dave Kirshbaum. Going to share a best thing. By the way, you guys thinking of your best things? The other cool thing about this, even if you don't come on and share one today, if we don't get time for that, you're probably going through your mental Rolodex of things that were worthy of remembering this week. Dave, how are you, my man? You look fantastic.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. Looking good yourself. And these,
thanks, man.
A year into the shite.
What's that?
A year into the shite you were talking about?
Yeah, a year into the shite. I know. Right. By the way, I failed to mention, because my ADD kicked in for March. I don't know if you recall, Dave, but last year I got together a lot of the leaders of our industry that I look up to, and I interviewed them about what do you think is going to happen, and what does pivot mean? And it was really interesting to get the different perspectives. We had Todd Herman, Todd Brown, John Carlton, Adrian Dorson from Run Like Clockwork, who's a productivity expert. And so I am going to try to get that same, or as much as I can, Laura Belgray, of those people on a single Zoom to say, looking back a year later, what have we learned? I think that'll be pretty cool, right? And so that's that's something we're going to plan for March. So David, I could talk to you all day and just catch up. Again, it's great to see you. I know you've been doing cool stuff, but for now, tell us the best thing.
The best thing. So, hey, my name is David Kirshbaum. I'm a ghostwriter and messaging strategist, and also do some copywriting. But I have had this issue of wanting to build up my own business more. So, like, get an email list going, get my own audience and community happening. And I've found a lot of ways, creative ways to put it off, to not do it, to find reasons why I'm not ready yet. And I've had an email list in the past, and then I stopped and I took my opt-in down. And I was at the point where I'm just like, I got to get this thing up. But I was running into another self-created obstacle of, well, I really want to have a good welcome sequence for when someone opts in. And I'm working with a coach on my business, and I was talking about this problem, and she is a she, told me, well, why don't you just not do a welcome sequence? Have one confirmation email and let it be good enough and get the thing up and get it done. And it was so simple, but so obvious and profound. And it was just like, it just removed my ability to resist that for my business anymore. And it's also something that I was relearning because one of my ongoing clients, one of his favorite things to say is start small. I mean, think big, but start small. Like the smallest thing you could possibly do to complete something from beginning to end so that it works. And then go back and fill in the details. So like, I know this, but I had to like have it really shown to me so that I could apply it. And I did. And now I've got an opt-in on my website and it's ready to go. And had a couple of people sign up. So I guess I would say if there's something that you know you want or need to do, and your perfectionism or your resistance or your fear or whatever is stopping you from doing it, and you're creating reasons and finding details that you have to deal with, just ask yourself, what is the very smallest thing that I could do to get this done from end to end, and let it be good enough and do it.
Fantastic. That was a great take, David. And progress over perfection, right? It'll never be perfect. It'll never be the perfect time. It's kind of like kids in marriage. It's like, go ahead and try to pick the perfect weekend to do that. Love it. Really cool. And I can't help but mention, you probably know April Dykman, who's an active member of the community. Her next thing that she's releasing is her 7-day formula, which is exactly how to write a 7-day welcome sequence when somebody signs up to your list. So that might be useful for you to just, oh, good. Here, it's done for me. I just have to kind of fill in the blanks. But great on you. The bigger point is you didn't let not having one hold you up. You fought, you just eliminated the resistance and made it happen. Great work, man. Great seeing you. Thanks for popping on.
Yeah, great to see you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
See you, buddy. Fantastic. All right, 2 more. Let's go to Chrissy Mize. Sorry about that. I don't know that. I think this Chrissy's first best thing. So thank you for hello.
Hi.
How are you? Nice to see you. I know it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? It's like why this is my people. We're just hanging out. But that'll go away in just a second. And
right, cool.
I can't wait to learn from you. So let's hear it.
Cool. So I'm in EV right now, and I'm a new-ish copywriter. And the best thing I learned this week was about how to do authority content. I'm very curious about how to get that started, but it's sort of intimidating. Like, what do I have to say? And who can I speak to? And I'm just learning. But I was in a copywriting masterclass this week, and the teacher said, all you need to do to start authority content is to make an observation and then reflect on it. So see what's working and then figure out why it's working. And that's what you can share with your audience. So I'm really interested in how e-commerce companies use comedy and humor to sell. So what I started to do was, like in the grocery store, looking at products that have fun packaging and are, you know, kind of cheeky and taking pictures of those. So I'm starting to collect, you know, products that I really like and that I think have a really great tone and brand voice that make me laugh. And I'm creating a list, and I reach out on social media to people like, what, you know, companies make you laugh. So that's my cue of sort of new brands to dissect and to analyze and share with my list. So if you're looking to develop your authority content, figure out what's most important to you, look for it in the field, and then figure out your take on it and why it's effective, why it works for you. And that's what you can share with your audience.
Ah, that was so good. I mean, that was world class. Fantastic. So good. By the way, here's a tip. If you have any kind of editing software, you can download this, right? And clip that out for yourself and share it. Say, hey, Kevin Rogers had me on his chief chat and I share this thing. You know, it's just another cool thing because I mean, you nailed it. That was perfect. So good. I can't resist going in a little deeper into some of these things. And this was brilliant. First thing I want to point out is you're doing such an important thing here. You're applying critical thought to how you, Chrissy, would change this, make this better, or what you even see being effective. And right. So that is how you'll get paid good money. Anybody can figure out how to write decent and follow formulas and be kind of a copywriting robot. It's this kind of critical thinking blended with all your interesting life experience from everything that's led you to this moment in your life that is the X factor that's going to make you stand out and really make your business work around you and be exciting. The second thing is I had an idea that I want to share that I think would be cool. I just thought of it as you were talking. One quick way to find brands with humor, and I'll tell you why I'm using air quotes in a second, is to look at Harmon Brothers ads, right? You know, Harmon Brothers, of course, they do all the, you know, squatty potty and you're like, leave me alone. I'm on camera, damn you. So they do squatty potty and Poopery is a favorite of mine. You know, Poopery, hilarious commercial, great product, by the way. And so a cheap product. Now, here's what's interesting. I have found Lumi Deodorant's a great example. And I've talked to Johnny Vance about this a few times, but it's not his problem. Lumi Deodorant has this great, hilarious, epic commercial. Makes you go, oh my God, I have to try this deodorant. You order the thing, and then guess what happens? It comes wrapped in an envelope with not even a postcard or something to, there's no branding, there's no voice. It's just, here's your deodorant that you asked for. And that's where so there's no fun in the packaging. They're not keeping up the energy that they created. So one thing you might do is buy a few of those products and your specialty to kind of be, hey, where's the fun now? Right. Like, why'd we stop the fun? It'd be so easy to hire a copywriter to keep that alive. And that's where the brand loyalty really comes from, right?
Totally. I did actually buy a bidet for my husband for Christmas and Hello Tushy, not tushy.com. Don't go to that. So actually, Hello Tushy. But they have an amazing brand voice and like it's very consistent. Like the manual is hilarious, you know, everything, the emails, the website, everything about it is very solid. But so that's a good point of looking at where the gaps are in a brand's voice.
Exactly. Like another good example is Dollar Shave Club. Like, you know, put themselves on the map with that hilarious commercial and it brilliantly keeps on. Every email, every new product you buy, they send you a little toilet reading booklet every month. And it's just a little hilarious thing that you're going to read on the toilet. And it just keeps you enjoying spending money with them. And so it shocks me when somebody invests $50,000 to have a funny commercial made and then quits being entertaining the minute somebody buys something. It's very strange. So awesome. All right, cool. Well, great share and a topic we should continue to explore. It's a great one.
Rock and roll. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
That was great. All right, let's bring it home. I'm so glad we did this today. Okay. Yeah, Zach, definitely, man. Let's set up a call. I am eager to talk to you and find out how you're doing with. If you don't know, Zach is are you the copy chief? I don't know what your official title is at Tier 11, which is a high level media agency, media buying. They do lots of Facebook ads primarily, run by the great Ralph Burns and others. And so Zach has been, we've been helping him place some copywriters in the company. And this is a big passion of mine. Like, what does it mean for the company and for the copywriter when somebody comes on board in basically a full-time virtual capacity? Because I'm coaching both entities on this all the time. So Zach, let's absolutely book a time to follow up. All right, Joshua Lee Henry, take us home, brother, with the final best thing of the day. You're going to see a master at work here. No pressure.
Hey, Kevin.
All right, buddy.
See me, hear me?
Yeah, look at that hair. Damn, dude. Why you got to rub it in like that?
You know, Elvis Presley.
Pompadour.
Elvis Presley and Bruce Lee, those are my heroes growing up. So I've got the pompadour and the black belt to prove it. So
I love it.
Yeah.
It'd be so embarrassing to get your ass kicked on the street by a guy with a pompadour and a sweater vest, man.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know, officer. I don't even want to report this.
Yeah. You know, I just wanted to share, I guess it was 2 days ago when you were doing the business training, the other call we had this week.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the title of it. I'm sorry, but it was
freelancing profit pie.
Yeah, profit. Yeah, there we go. Towards about the middle of there, you were showing the freelancer timeline, and you were combining the timeline and the profit pie and mingling those ideas together. And as you're going through those 7 stages, you stopped on number 6, and you talked about the royalty splits and the rev shares. And I had made a comment in the chat box, like, I've made the decision. One of my most recent mandatory requirements with clients or prospects. I'm the majority of my time is taken up right now with Money Map, obviously, but any kind of consulting or teaching or copy critiques and what limited copy that I can do on occasion, regardless, it's always structured around a rev share or a royalty split. And I just made a comment that if you just decide that, if you just choose that, if you just make that a requirement, like having a set fee for an offer, having a set, specialty, a niche bat signal that you write for, a perfect type client that you serve that you can help solve those problems for. And then in that arrangement, just have as your standard practice, I get paid royalties and rev shares. And if you just make that a reality, you can live with that. You can make that as if. Does that make sense? Am I rattling on there?
100%. You have to decide it and stick to it. Yeah.
Just stick to it. Yeah. And it's funny because I'm still getting paid on things that I've written years ago based on royalties. And it just, when you said that during the call, and I thought, just make that mandatory. If you're at that level where you can command those types of arrangements, just make that mandatory. It reminded me of Jim Rohn, the great motivational speaker. And he talked about, going to his mentor and his mentor guessing his bank account within $100. And Jim said, well, this is all they pay me. And his mentor, Earl Schoaf, said, no, that's all they pay you. Do they make other people, do they pay other people in the company more? And Jim said, yes. And he said, well, you have to become more valuable than to get paid more. And it's just raising your level of professionalism, raising your level of expertise, raising your level of client. There are clients that are happy to pay royalties and rev shares. Get better clients, Yeah.
Love it.
So if you're struggling with, charging a set fee or having a specific offer or going after a specific client that you can help, just, make that decision in your mind, live as if, put the action in place, and just, you cannot, it's like practicing saying your fees, practice saying, I only work on royalties, or I only work on rev share, or I only work on a royalty split. So if you're struggling with getting better clients, just take this as your commissioning to be better and to own it.
Awesome. So good. I can always count on you to close, brother.
Well,
it was really great. And again, just a couple of things there. I just love what you said about why not? Really, if we could distill it down to that. Why not? Why not me? And so what would it look like to have a rev deal? And our instinct then in the age of information is going to be, well, I'll Google it, or I'll just go ask 10 people. And that's not a bad thing to do. But what's as important as getting other people's information is imagining for yourself what that might look like. Sitting alone with a notepad and writing out, okay, who would pay that and who wouldn't pay that, right? What would I have to bring to it, kind of the Jim Rome thing, to make it a no-brainer for them to want to work with me? I can tell you what the one thing right there is that you would need to do some math with that person, right? And say, hey, are you willing to share with me your current monthly revenue on this offer and your conversion stats and those things? And if you're of a level of expertise where you can say, okay, that makes sense to me. I can see 3 ways right now that I believe I could raise that by as much as 5%. And if I'm able to do that, would you be happy to share X% with me? And it's the easiest yes in the world, because suddenly now you're entering into a partnership and you're not saying, trust me, I'm a hot dog, I can do this. It's you're working together, you're collaborating.
Yep. There's some risk reversal there too. There's some ownership, skin in the game. I was talking to my father-in-law actually about this royalty arrangement, and he said, wow, it sounds like your client pays you pretty good. I said, it's not what they pay me, it's what I charge. It's how I work. It's a different mindset. Yeah. And that's the thing I would leave you with is this, if you're struggling to say your fees, to land the clients you want, to get the projects you want, to have the kinds of arrangements you want, then you just need to change your mindset and really own it and act as if.
Love it. Fantastic. Thank you, Joshua. That was great. Appreciate you, man.
Cool.
And we'll close there.
Awesome.
Great, man. How blessed are we to have these people as our ambassadors? Joshua, Alix, Angie Coley, Jimmy Parent. What a blessing. Carolyn Ananian, Amanda Foxcroft. Oh, she changed her name. I'm not good with names today. Amanda's always amazing. Amanda Luft. Michelle, you will be first in line. I saw in the comments that you were ready. I didn't see you raise your hand. So I love knowing that you're on deck for the next Chief Chat. How's this once a month working out for you guys with the Chief Chat? Being real, just a quick spontaneous survey. Yeah. A month is good. Okay, good. Yeah, more is better. I get a little antsy. We always did them every 2 weeks, but okay. I've noticed we're pretty well attended today. So, yeah, twice a month works too. Yeah. Okay. All right, good. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. That's all really valuable. Yeah. So it looks like we're kind of split where once a month is great. And the thing is, you come to the ones you can make, and the premise is if we do less, it'll be more meaningful and all that. Yeah, Arnold, nightly ones. I got to get back to that. In the past, I've done them in the evening for our Australian friends and some folks in Asia. And that's not a bad idea. We'll play maybe with some times too. All right, because to me, this is the most effective I can be as your leader and copy chief when we get to talk directly and I hear from you and again, that's where the trainings come from. That's where the ideas come from. That's just where I feel like I can be most effective. So thank you for that. And thank you for being here. Please jump into that. If you didn't get a chance to be with us live Wednesday, I really, really want you to watch that Freelancing Profit Pie video training and do the exercise. I promise you, it'll be really, really time well spent. And it might even be a turning point in your career. So please do that. I'm here to help you do better, make more, stress less. All right. I appreciate you. And we'll see you inside. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye.